Hi, everybody, and welcome to Altered States with Rachel. So, as you can see, I'm back in my old digs, but my lighting is all at the office. So, it is what it is. So, welcome, everybody. Today is February, the 20th? Woohoo! 8 more days, and this month is gone. Where did it go? Okay, so, how's everybody feeling? As y'all can tell, I'm able to speak, right? That's pretty good. At least that's what I think. All right. So, since I am using my phone, it's going to take a second. I have to go back and forth. So whenever I touch the screen, that's what's going on. Okay. Hi, Brigitte. Well, hey, KJ. Hi, Carol. Hi, Kelsey. It's so good to see you, KJ. I've been thinking about you, and I actually went to find you, and I don't think we're friends. So I couldn't, I seen you, but I was afraid that you wouldn't get my message. Welcome, everybody. The house is full, right? So it's another crazy Monday. Yeah, it has been. It hasn't been that bad. It's been beautiful here. We had a beautiful weekend and a beautiful day, and so it's got spring fever, and all of the daffodils are blooming. So I'm super, I don't know. It's just like every time I see a daffodil, it's like, okay, this is like a little bit of hope. Winter's over and spring's coming. So I like it. And Kelsey, it is your birthday eve. Happy birthday. All right. So who wants a reading? What y'all want? I do have my Earth Magic cards. So these are some of my favorite cards. Listen to me. These are some of my favorite cards. Just like this is one of my favorite crystals. It's all lies. It's all lies. They're all my favorite cards and they're all my favorite crystals. But this is really one of my favorite crystals. I know y'all can't see it, but it's a smoky amethyst and it's celestial. But so whenever it was in whatever the matrix that it was in, it had formations up here and down here. So it's double terminated, but it fits perfect in your hand. So you can either like throat punch somebody or just like send them good vibes, either or. It's multi-purpose, multi-purpose. All right. All right, Kelsey. So I've seen, Kelsey says it's 57 today. It's supposed to be 18 on Thursday. I know, crazy. It is crazy. That's the reason why everybody gets sick, because the weather's constantly changing. Oh, wow, KJ. Good for you. Went for a 2-mile walk, working on your fitness. Good for you. All right. Well, I'm going to start with Kelsey. And let's just see. We'll do Kelsey and then we'll do KJ. The two Ks in the house. Okay. So Kelsey, I'm sorry. Kelsey, I've seen your message, but I didn't read it. I know that sounds bad, and I'm sorry, but that's just Rachel and her messages. Everything goes to the business suite, like on Facebook, and it's just until I get it completely figured out. If I go in there and mess around, I mess it up. So that's just the way it is. So, all righty, Kelsey. Let's have a love reading for Kelsey. So, Kelsey, I am done. I'm doing a love reading, and so what came up is new dawn, or dawn, new beginnings. And since there's not that many people in here, then I'm just going to go ahead and read what it says, because I love Earth Magic. It's so, I just love it. Okay, Kelsey, this is appropriate for you, I believe, right? All right, Kelsey. The start of the day brings with reassurance that the night has passed. making way for new opportunities no matter what has come before. It reminds us of the predictability of daily cycles. That first light that forecasts the sun's appearance awakens the winged ones, the ones who sing and chirp happily at the advent of another morning. It's a time of fresh beginnings from which we can create whatever kind of experience we desire. There you go, Kelsey. I really think that's perfect for you. I'm still going to pull some cards, but it feels like, that's a great way to look at your little, the past 2 years. It's a new beginning. So let's have a love reading for Kelsey. Love reading for Kelsey. Well, Kelsey, you got some beautiful cards here. So the first one is Three of Swords. And so Three of Swords is exactly what it says. There's heartache. And then we've got the Four of Cups. And so Four of Cups is all about, it's your emotions. It's about things coming to you, opportunities coming to you, but not really knowing what to do. But, look, he's in the prayer position. He's underneath the Bodhi tree. He is asking. He's set his intention. And so he's just waiting for these things to come to him. Then it's got the Five of Cups. Okay. And so we know that Five is all about change, but here he's thinking that all is lost, but it's not really, is it? Then it is followed by the Ten of Swords, and the Ten of Swords is exactly what it looks like, but it's like, it's done. Like you are completely done. All is, it's like, it's beyond hopelessness. Like there is no more hope. Well, the only hope is what? That the predictability of the dawn that comes in the morning, that a new morning, that a new beginning is coming. And so what the Three of Swords, the Four of Cups, and the Five of Cups with this Ten of Swords is saying that whole chapter of heartache and heartbreak and thinking that all is lost is over. It's done with. And what is coming in is the Knight of Cups. And so Cups is all about emotions, right? And so this night he's, nights show action. So he's searching for new emotions, but that's what's coming in. It is, so a night, they're action, but they're also like the plan is in place. So in their place of doing. And that's what's coming in for you, Kelsey. Be somebody that you're waving and smiling at now, or just that new emotional beginning for you. So there you go, Kelsey. All right, KJ. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Destiny. All right, let's pull one for KJ. KJ, I'm so glad that you're here with us. We've been missing you on Monday nights, but you're here tonight, so yay. All right, KJ. So yours is Fire, which is all about passion, okay? I'm not going to read these for everybody. And no, I didn't put my phone on silent. So if it dings, I'm just sorry. Tonight, y'all are going to get like the low budget style of a show, okay? That's just the way it is. Fire and passion, KJ. Since the dawn of humankind, we've been fascinated by fire. As soon as early humans were able to make fire, it changed our lifestyle dramatically. Through its capacity to generate heat and light, fire made it possible to cook, stay warm, and keep predators away. In this card, a man is enacting an ancient ceremonial fire dance originating from Samoa, at one time performed to ignite the passion of warriors before battle. Fire can inspire other passions as well. We speak of being on fire or catching fire, phrases signifying that we possess an intense desire or enthusiasm for something. No wonder that passion has become associated with fire. So, KJ, Have you found yourself in a situation to where your passion has been reignited? And then we also think of fire as like a purifier. It is it'll go and it'll level out the playing field. It'll clear land. It's fire is used for a lot of different things besides for heat and for food. It's for purification, and it's just like whenever we think about burning grasslands or burning the forest as in a control burn, it's a good healthy thing. So KJ, maybe perhaps you can think of the past couple of years of your life that it's just kind of been burning things out, making way for new, greener, and better things to come. Pull 5 cards for KJ. Well, KJ, you got a pretty good hand too, okay? And this little 5 card draw. So, well, KJ, the one in the middle is the devil. And that usually represents you, but that's nothing but just fear. That's all that is just fear. And since it's such a prominent card of where you are and who you are, or where you are right now with this fear, what is on the left side of you, you have the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Wands. Okay. So again, we were just talking about the Knight of Cups. That is a plan in action. That is, well, of course, the cups, that is the Knight of Cups. That's like a charming, it's romance, but it's just an active plan. And what he's moving to is towards his Queen of Wands. And Wands, she's all about passion. Okay. So it's like you're moving to this situation. The only thing that is sent in your way is fear, but I really don't think it's even like a big fear. And what's on the other side of that is the Tower and the Cups. And I know you just don't be scared because I pulled the Tower card, but that's exactly what I said what fire was, that it was purification by fire. And I think that's what this Tower was. Then you've got the 4 of Cups. So the 4 of Cups is exactly what I was saying a minute ago. He's underneath the Bodhi tree. He's looking for enlightenment, and it's coming to him. So KJ, I think with this Knight of Cups and this Queen of Wands, that's what you're moving to. It's almost like you're reinventing yourself, like everything has been leveled. I would say you got a new lease on life, but that's like a cliche. But I do feel like it feels like something has ignited you, like something to do with your passion. So, I mean, and it's like maybe your passion is just to have great health and happiness. So, KJ, I feel like this is a very simple message, but I feel like it is more than that, that is bigger than that. And so the whole point of this is you are moving wherever you are with your emotions, you're moving to this Queen of Wands. Okay. You're there. Then you just got this little guy, and I don't know what he represents. You know what? Let's just ask for clarity. What does the devil mean? So whenever I was asking for clarity on the devil, it's the 7 of Cups, the High Priestess, and the 3 of Swords, which is heartache, So all that fear is just, I think, another opportunity for you to be the High Priestess, be the queen that you are. That's all it is. I don't know if you feel like you don't have any more strength, or if you don't have any more courage. Like if you're afraid that all is left is the ashes, then, that's what the Phoenix rose out of, was the ashes, right? So I think that that's where that fear is, that you don't have anything left in you, and you have a whole lot left in you. It's just going to take a little bit to get back up to speed. But that's perfect, because that's what we are. We're coming out of the winter and going into the spring, and spring is all about new beginnings, renewal, and then we come into full blossom in the summertime. So that's all this fear is. That's what all this devil is. It's just you're afraid that you're limited, like you don't have enough energy. Like all you have is like a little bit of like leftovers or ashes. So you just create from the ashes. Okay, Jay, good things are coming. Okay. Good things are here and more are to come. So you say, yes, it's big. This type of movement has not happened before. I'm afraid I won't do what I need to. Well, yeah. And I mean, that fear, it can just be like accountability. That's all it is. You could just use that fear as accountability, because, it's, and we were talking, or I was talking about this, I think yesterday, with words and intentions, because it's just like when people, for example, are like with cancer, and to sit there and say to somebody, oh, you're a cancer, or, oh, you have cancer, or to call somebody a cancer, like, something that would be spread and awful. Well, okay, so there's like a negative connotation with that. But what about with somebody that has a zodiac sign of a cancer? So whenever you say, oh, you're a cancer, how is that any different from telling somebody that they're a disease? It's the intention behind it. So you can use whatever fear you have to be some sort of accountability. You can use it as like a measurement, like, okay, I'm feeling a little bit fear. So here is, it's just like awareness, and again, it's that fear that kept us from like falling off a cliff. It's the fear of getting burned that kept us from going into, falling into the fire. So it's that fear. So that fear can be healthy. So it's not bad. It's just when it holds you back, it's bad, right? All righty. Who we got next? Hi, Victor. All right. How about Destiny? Hi, Destiny. All right, Destiny. Yours is all about love and compassion. And again, I'm going to read it because why not? All right, Destiny. I mean, when you have a name like Destiny, of course, this is going to be your card. Love, compassion. In this beautiful image, we see hands reaching toward each other through a heart. The green field surrounding them is the color of the fourth heart chakra. Is when we feel love in our heart center that not only we naturally emit the healing energy of compassion, but we also attract love and compassion. Studies by the Heart Math Institute that the electrical signals from the heart are up to 60 times stronger than the brain magnetic field, and that it's 5,000 more times powerful. It is a given that our thinking patterns affect our feelings and in turn our reality. What we put out, whether it's love, fear, empathy, sadness, and so forth, contains an incredible amount of power to shape our influence and reality. When the focus of our attention and intention is love, compassion, we recognize no separate between self and others. We were just talking about that. Also, the Heart Math Institute. I don't know if y'all have ever went to their website. They have courses that you can pay for, but they have tons of free things as well. And if you sign up for the mailing list, they'll send out freebies all the time, but they have a lot of meditations and a lot of like free resources. I love them. All right, Destiny. And they're in Denver too. I don't know why that matters, but it just popped in my head. All right, what cards does Destiny need for love and compassion? And when we're talking about chakras, I believe that your heart chakra is one of, I guess, like maybe your most important ones. They're all important, but it's just my belief, like my opinion. All right, let's pull 5 cards for Destiny. Okay, Destiny, pull 5 cards. So the one in the middle is the 2 of Swords. And so swords we know is our thoughts, it's our mind, it's that mental chatter. It can be anxiety, but it's also air, which is fast moving energy. The other really cool thing is this is like the 2 of Swords. And so 2 of Swords of somebody that's indecisive, not knowing what to do, a stalemate. So if that's you, Destiny, then we'll just hang on. Okay. So your first card is a major arcana, and it's the Lovers. And so the Lovers is all about decisions. And yes, it's 2 people, but it feels, as much as this is about love, I think it's that decision, just like what we were talking about with this card of love and compassion, to always be in that place of love. And you can still choose love in a bad situation. Just for example, like with my brother, he has addictions and we don't have the relationship like we used to have, before addiction. And, that really hurts, but that's okay because that's just the way life is now. And I still love him. I just have to love him in a different capacity. I have to love him from a distance because that's the only way I can do it. So instead of having that heart and hate, I have to love him from a distance. And that's what I'm doing. So that is like a different way of changing the view, changing the dynamics, because it's not really changing the perception. It's just like changing the dynamics. That way you can always be in a place of love about it. You don't have to be so like positive Pollyanna, where it's like, oh, it's okay. This is all, like where you're always in this place of, like, you can still have heartache and still have love. And I got to get through the rest of this. That way I can figure out what the meaning is. But it's just love and compassion. And we got the Lovers, which is all about a decision. But I'm also seeing this as 2, as like duality, just like 2. Then we got the 4 of Swords. And so the 4 of Swords is just about taking a break, taking a rest. And then we've got the one that represents you, the 2 of Swords. Then it is followed about the 2 of Wands. And we know that Wands is passion, is fire energy. It's also like it's kind of like what you do every day. And so here, the 2 of Wands is about, you've done what you're supposed to do. Now you're just waiting for it to happen. Then it is followed by the 10 of Wands. And so the 10 of Wands tends to mean like the end of a cycle. But here the 10 is about, it's like completion, like you have picked up and moved on, basically. So Destiny, what this reading, I think this is about a relationship that has changed, but it's changed in the capacity. Either they might be because of the decisions that somebody else made. So I don't know why I keep thinking about my brother. So I don't know if like you're in this relationship with somebody who has a relationships with addictions or with drugs or just something, and you are trying to figure out how to do that in a place that you can still have this love and compassion for them, but where you're not enable them, where you're not making where you're not like a codependent, where you're not an enabler. That's the really kind of feels like this feels like. And this 10 of Wands, it's like you're just picking up the burdens and you're carrying it for them. So, Destiny, if this resonates with you, then I think you're just going to have to love them in a different capacity. Love them the best you can, however you can. And if that's from a distance, if that's from afar, if that is whatever that is, then it's like whatever you can do for your, like to keep your sanity and to keep your health. So there you go, Destiny. And it doesn't have to be addiction to drugs. That's just the reference that I used. It just feels like you have a really close relationship to somebody who has addiction-like behavior, and it is very consuming to them. And you're trying to figure out how to help them without enabling them. And that's really hard, especially when they don't even see it. All righty. Who else we got? Hi, Francis. All righty. All right, Brigitte. What does Brigitte need to know? And just so y'all know, I still have my chickens in the living room. I have 14 of them. They went outside a little bit today. But every time I look at my chickens, I think about Carol and Brigitte. Okay, let's do a reading for Brigitte. What does Brigitte need to know? All right, Brigitte, yours is the Green Man, which is all about synergy. Green Man is Earth's vegetation personified. Although he has many variations, this card depicts a more subtle and embedded representation. In other portrayals, he resembles the face of a man covered in green foliage as branches and vines sprout from every direction. There exists some form of Green Man throughout history and in the myriad of cultures throughout the world, often a symbol for rebirth of life in springtime. He has also been associated with the Lord of the Wildwood. As a representative of the plant kingdom, Green Man reminds us of the incredible synergy required for Gaia to maintain her delicate and dynamic balance among the various beings on the planet. Synergy is the interaction and cooperation of two or more elements that produce a combined greater effect than the sum of the separate efforts. We witness this in the complex and cooperative interaction between plants, humans, animals. For instance, fruit trees propagate by being eaten by animals that deposit it back into the earth after digestion. As a new plant grows, bees pollinate the flowers and the cycle begins. Yet, nature remains remarkable synergy. All right, Brigitte, what does this synergy have to do with you? All right, Brigitte. So I'm already getting that it is symbolic, that it is that it is symbolic. And I'm also getting that it's necessary. And I don't want to say like I just got that it was a necessary evil, but it's just like whenever we think of a tree that dies in the forest, it's like, yeah, that tree died. But once it lands on the ground, what is it doing? It's providing all of these nutrients for the ground. It's providing, the more bugs that come and crawl and eat the dead tree, and the more birds and the more animals on the ground have more things. It feels like a necessary evil, but also like just the process of evolution. So, Reggie, I don't know if you're questioning why do things have to happen. It just feels like the old has to die off in order for the new to grow. That is kind of like the message that I'm getting. So I don't know if you're going through something what you would be considering bad, or like you're trying to figure out why this happened. But it's almost like the bad has to happen so the good can come of it. It's just like whenever we have cow shit, like shit isn't that great, but it's fertilizer and it makes something good, you know? All right, Brigitte, pull 5 cards. The one in the middle, 7 of swords. 7's that spiritual number, you know, and so swords, it's that mental chatter. It's your thoughts, your mind, your intellect. And so here the 7 is like he's walking away, but he's so he's just walking away. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So your first card is a 5 of cups. And so we know that cups is all about emotions, feelings, and perceptions, and 5 is all about change. And so this guy's just like, hey, she's just thinking everything that all is lost, you know? And then it is followed by the 10, which is, this is major arcana, but it is Wheel of Fortune. So I really thought it was kind of cool that we have the 5, then, you know, when you double a 5, you get the 10. So it's almost like what comes next is the Wheel of Fortune. And so it's like if you're in this cycle of thinking, hey, all is lost, why did this happen? It had to happen. And that's exactly what we were just saying, that it's a necessary evil. It's just part of the process. In order for this has to die in order for this to grow. So in order to feel like or have this loss, this has to happen in order for this next thing. And so this is also the Wheel of Fortune. It's also about karma and about cycles. So whatever the situation it is, it almost feels like it's karmic that it had to happen. And I don't think it necessarily had to happen for you. I think it had to play out for somebody else. You were just like an active participant. Yay, Brigitte, aren't you excited you get to be like, you know, an active participant in somebody else's karma? And that's where the 7 of swords comes in, that you are walking away at this spiritual level, but you're still having to like look behind you. It's like you won, but you're still looking back. It's like you're walking away, but you're still looking back. And it is followed by the 2 of Wands. And so again, 2 of Wands is just kind of like watching and waiting, but it's followed by the 9 of Cups. And so the 9 of Cups is it's like getting what you want. It's just kind of like getting what your heart desires. But with the cups, you know, we know that cups is emotions, feelings, and perceptions. So, Brigitte, I don't know if, like, I only assume that you're going through stuff. Everybody's going through stuff. But I assume that you've kind of been going through something big from your last card readings every week. And so I think what this reading is just kind of saying that the whole purpose is for this karmic debt or this karmic thing. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like karma bad, because I don't know whose karma it is. I don't think it's yours. And I don't even like to say that it's somebody's karmic debt, but it just feels like a debt. It just feels like a necessary evil that had to happen. Okay. like a necessary injustice that had to happen in order for this to be done and be over with. And I feel like that is being recognized, that your part of this was some sort of like, the spiritual part. And I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that, yeah, it's part of like the spiritual contract. You're like, hey, I'll help you because this is just part of it, So in my mind, I'm imagining you and this person on the other side, and y'all figuring these things out, and you're like, okay, well, so what I'm going to do is we'll meet up in life, and then you have this really horrible situation that's going to go in, and then I'm going to step in and I'm going to help you, and it's going to suck really, really bad. But you know what? Don't worry about it, because I'm going to be right there beside you. And I know it's just part of what has to happen. Okay. And so to me, it feels like there's a spiritual aspect of it. And what really makes me nervous is for me to say this, Brigitte, because I don't know the situation and I don't want it to be so bad. And then you think, well, Rachel said that it was a spiritual contract. So like I shouldn't be having pain or I shouldn't be upset about it. And that's not what I'm saying at all. It just feels like there was a higher purpose for this. There was a bigger reason for us. And you should still have whatever emotions that you have because they're valid. It just feels like this was for a bigger reason. And, you know, and so now with the Two of Cups and the Nine of Cups, the Two of Wands and Nine of Cups, it's just like you're just waiting for your happiness. You're just waiting for your happiness. And it's the Three of Cups, because I just didn't get it. Like, you're just waiting for your happiness. So when's it going to come? Well, it's coming, because here we've got the Three of Cups, which again, the three to me is, the Trinity. And it's here's not really the party card, but it's celebration, it's network, it's a group. So yeah, it's coming. Okay. There you go, Brigitte. Okay, so we got Brigitte. Now we got Francis. Francis, I haven't seen your name, so welcome. And if I have seen your name and I've said it, I probably have, and just ignore me, because I really don't remember. Okay, what do the cards need for Francis? What do the cards want to tell Francis? All right, Francis, yours is Milky Way, and that is perspective. Have you ever seen the stars? Have you ever seen the stars? Well, I know, like, we were out in Colorado, and I guess because we were so high up in the elevation, and it was just, the smog, there wasn't any like there normally is here. I was so amazed to see it. It was literally like I could just reach up and touch it. And I tried to take a picture, and it didn't do any justice. And I'm just like, now it's my life's mission for everybody to go and see the Milky Way like that, because it was incredible. Very incredible, very beautiful. All right, what does Francis need to know? What are the cards want to tell Francis? 5 cards for Francis. All right, Francis, pull 5 cards. So the one in the middle typically represents you. And what that is the moon. And so this is the zodiac sign of Cancer. So the moon is like mystery, is things hidden, things unseen, things not known. It is about deep emotions, okay? So Francis, you got Milky Way, which is all about perspective. And okay, so the first card is the Queen of Swords. So this is a card of truth. This is a card of power and authority, but this is like an authoritative truth. Okay. Then it's followed by the Eight of Wands. And so Wands is passion and fire. And here it represents a message coming in, but it's information coming in fast. Then it's got the Moon. Then it is followed by the Five of Wands. And so Five of Wands is all about arguments, hassles, bickering, fighting. And then it is followed by a major arcana of the Hermit. So, Francis. Um, Francis, I pick up a lot on emotions, and hopefully this resonates with you. But what this is feeling like is if with this whole Milky Way, that it feels like you've it's not like you're lost, but that because it's like whenever we think of the Milky Way, it's so vast, it's so huge, and it's just so big. And it's like in the sea of stars, how like what, So that's what it feels like. It feels like you're going, or like there's this energy of like, who am I? I'm just like a little bitty pea. I'm just a stone. I'm a nobody. And all these bigger things are going on around me. And so I don't know if you've got this information or somebody told you some things that kind of hurt, and it's the truth, but like it kind of cuts you deep. And it's not necessarily about you. Maybe it's about like a situation that you didn't want, like you didn't think it was like that. So it feels like you found out some sort of truth that just kind of like came out of nowhere, and it's kind of stirred up all these emotions that's made you feel lost, made you feel like like it's just like, okay, I'm literally in the dark. I'm literally in the dark. And there's like this chaos, there's fighting. So I don't know if you're fighting within your mind or fighting with someone, but there's this argument. And it's kind of like they're saying that what you need to do is just to be the Hermit. And the Hermit is major arcana, and it is just that energy of going within. It's that energy of contemplation. It's that energy of introspect. So, Francis, it feels like you just got hit with a boatload of truth, and it kind of came out of nowhere and blindsided you, and you don't know what to do. And it's just like you're kind of going back and forth. And so what it feels like that I'm here, or that's the energy that I'm picking up, that you just got blindsided with this, this whole truth bit, and it cut to the bone. Okay. And it's like all they're saying is not that you shouldn't make a decision, but just don't confront. Don't confront. Just give it a minute, let you process it, and let you digest it. That's what it feels like. It feels like before you act on this new information, just wait a day, wait 2 or 3 days. Just wait on this information that you've got. And so, Francis, also too, whenever I do tarot readings, they're not like 2 or 3 months in advance. Usually it's the energy that you're in right now. So it feels like you would have already have gotten this truth. You would have already got this truth that kind of like came out of nowhere. But it's like a hardcore, like a heart stabbing truth. And just wait. Just wait a day or two. Sit with it, figure out what to do, and then go forth. It just feels like you shouldn't confront anything right now. So there you go, Francis. Good luck. Good luck. And just remember, any emotions that you have are valid to you, and they're legit. but just process the information. And that's the other thing. I know everybody's talking about like high vibration, like, oh, you should be in high vibration. And the way that you can be in a higher vibration is by doing this and this and this and this. And it's these things like have crystals, you know, eat high vibrational foods, keep your negative thoughts down to a minimum. But it's also dealing with your emotions and clearing out your subtle bodies. Whenever you can process your emotions and clear them out, that is huge. Okay. Well, thank you, Francis. All righty. How about Sandy? Hi, Sandy. All right, Sandy, yours is volcano volatility. Well, that's a cool card, right? Explosion. Again, you know, this could be seen as a tower moment, that out of this comes rebuilding, comes rebirth. Oh yeah, I don't know if you can see it. In the smoke or in the clouds, there's a face. Okay, so what cards does Sandy need? What do the cards want to tell Sandy? What do the cards want to tell Sandy, please? What do the cards want to tell Sandy? All right. So I shuffled them, I cleared them, and I shuffled them again. So Sandy, what came up for you again is the moon. And so again, this is major arcana, and this is all about like, I want to say hidden emotions. Okay. So the first one that came up is this guy, it's the devil. And so here the devil, it's just all about fear, about bondage, bad habits, things that hold you back, things that are slowing you down. That's what the devil represents. Then you've got the Eight of Wands. And so the Eight of Wands is fast moving energy. Okay. It's things coming to a head. Then again, like I said, you've got the moon. Then it is followed by the Ten of Wands. Okay. So wands is passion, it's fire, it's the things that you do every day. It's your, you know, like your job. But it's not necessarily represents money. It's more like, you know, like kind of like what you do every day. And the Ten of Wands is all about carrying the burdens, carrying the load. And then it is followed by the Seven of Cups. And so the Seven of Cups is all about fantasy, daydreaming, kind of escaping reality. So, Sandy, what does this mean? Sandy, Sandy, Sandy. So, Sandy, I feel like this is the same message for you, kind of like right there with Francis, that you've got this message of truth, or you've got this little tidbit of truth that come in, and, you know, and it's like, it felt like with Francis, there was more of like anxiety or hate that was attached to it. Not in a bad way, but like there was just like anger. And so, Sandy, what this feels like is just you've got that little truth arrow that came and you found something out. And it's just like followed by fear. And this fear is, so this little truth fear or a little truth arrow that came and, you know, like struck you. So this is how I see it. Like, you know, you had this this moment of truth that kind of like just hit, and it hit hard. And it feels like this is something that you have known, or this is something that you had, like, you already had an idea of it, but you found out for sure. And it's kind of like now your mind is running away with all these different scenarios. Your mind is running away with all these different situations. And it feels like, as much as you feel that truth, and you thought, like you thought that you, so it feels like there was this thought that you had, and you finally got concrete proof. Okay. So that feels like that truth. Like you already had this idea, and now you've got concrete proof. Like you've got concrete evidence of it. Now it's like your thoughts is being carried away. And what I'm hearing is that you just need to reel it back in and focus. Quit playing out all these different scenarios. And I don't know what these scenarios is, but it's like all these different scenarios. It almost, I don't know, it almost feels like scenarios of revenge, like scenarios of payback. And of course, if you want to do that, if you feel like that's what you need to do, then do it. But again, I don't think you have to be in this place of forgiveness or acceptance. And I'm not even saying you should forgive them. I'm just saying you don't have to be in this place like, oh, don't worry about it. That's fine. You can still have this hurt, and you can still have this pain. But it's like, that's not a decision that you have to make now. So just don't make a decision in the moment that you might regret later. So there you go, Sandy. I'm really hoping, well, I mean, if they resonate with you, they resonate with you. But those both feel like two very close readings of the same thing. So I hope that they resonate. I hope that makes sense with you. But, if it is a truth, I'm glad that you've got the truth and you can work with it from there. But it just feels like that these are specific things. Hi, Alice. I'm going to scroll up a little bit. What does it say? You did look at the monkey? I can't see my phone. So, yeah. All right. So, all righty. Oh, Brigitte, I want to be in this circle. Well, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for y'all. I talk about this group all the time. I know, it's so funny because I talk about y'all, and I'm so excited because I was telling everybody how last week, the energy, like how I couldn't talk, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, why, what happened?" And then I was like, "Well, this is like more of a high vibration group," and everybody's like, "Oh, what kind of group is it?" And I was like, "Well, it's not like they're a bunch of saints and angels. I mean, yes, I love y'all and I appreciate you, but I didn't want them to think that y'all were like a bunch of monks. I just, I know y'all have, beautiful heart chakras, and, it's like you're coming from a really good place, and you can tell. And like whenever I do my other shows, sometimes I'll be so drained, and then whenever I do the show with y'all, I get like a high. I can feel it. And it's a good loving thing, and I can feel it. So I talk about y'all all the time. I call y'all my group. So y'all are like my support group. Y'all are helping me. Y'all are helping me carry my burdens to this life with these little truth arrows that I get all the time. So I'm kind of curious, which I believe that everybody has gifts, whatever they are. But I'm wondering if y'all have noticed an increase in your ability to, for information, if you're getting things differently or if things have changed for y'all. And Carol, I'm going to do Alice, then I'll get you, Carol, okay? Okay, what does Alice? I didn't forget about Alice. I just started talking and I got sidetracked. And Jennifer, if you're putting messages up, I can't see it because I'm not on that screen. I'm not ignoring y'all. I just can't see it. All right, Alice. Sweet Alice. What does Alice need to know? The cards want to tell Alice. All right. Alice, yours is meadow, which is vulnerability. Okay. So the meadow. The meadow in this card invites us with its beauty and openness, right? And the other cool thing that I love about meadows is, you know, it's wildflowers and there's no pattern, there's no rhyme or reason. They just kind of like grow basically where the deer or the rabbit pooped the seeds out, and that's just the way it is. You know, that's where they grow, unless it's a bulb, but they still kind of, you know, spread like that. Oh my gosh. Okay, last thing. Now to tell you a funny story. So we have the Indian mounds, you know, here close to where I live. They're called the Etowah Indian mounds. And so it's where, you know, Native Americans were buried. It's this ancient site. And they have most of it as a pasture, and they just mow down the middle into the mounds. And before you go walk through there, they'll tell you that, you know, you might find artifacts, all these different things that, you know, they can tell you. And so we went and we walked around, and then we came back and we was in the gift shop, and this family came up and they were so excited because they found artifacts, and they had took them out and they had put them down on the counter, and they was just like holding them and rubbing them and just like, look at these artifacts, look at these artifacts. And they were so excited. And I looked over because I was like, what they find, you know, they find what they find. They have found poop. It was so funny because the park ranger had said, oh, you know, this is just cat. And they're like, what? And they're like, oh, this is just, you know, animal poop. And they're like, what are you talking about? And they're like, well, you know, there's foxes, there's rabbits, there's all sorts of animals in these pastures, you know, because it was by a river, and they'll, you know, they just use a bathroom, and people will bring their dogs to walk on that trail. And so then the animals at night will come and smell the dogs, and then those animals will mark the territory over the dogs. And so there's a lot of scat there, but it was just so funny because they were so excited they found these ancient artifacts, and it was just poop balls. Oh, don't you just love it? But that's life. All right, Alice. Life is a bunch of poop balls in a sacred sack. That's all we're doing. We're just walking around picking up poop balls at a sacred site. All right, Alice. What does Alice need to know? Okay, we have the same cards come up. Alice, yours that represents you is the Six of Cups. And so the Six of Cups is just about something like you're reminiscing. It can be something reminiscing from the past or something reminding you of your childhood, but it's that type energy. Okay, so your first one as the Knight of Cups. And again, we've already talked about this guy 2 or 3 times. He is very busy tonight. So Cups, his emotions, feelings, and perceptions. And the Knight is someone who has taken action. So if they have this plan, they're in the middle of it. They are doing this plan. It's, they are in the middle of it. They're not planning it and it's not completed. They are in the middle of it. It's the action of it. Okay. So then it is followed by the Four of Pentacles. And so Pentacles, this is, it's earth energy, it's humble energy. But here he's holding everything close in, like he's holding everything in a line. Okay. Then it's followed by the Seven of Cups. And so Seven of Cups is all about fantasies, kind of daydreaming, all these opportunities coming to you. And you like, oh, I know for sure that opportunity I want. I might take that opportunity. This opportunity, I really don't know. And that is there seen by the one that's got the cloth over it. Opportunities not seen. Then it was followed by this lovely lady. And she is, again, the truth. Somebody who just, it's just the truth, it's also authenticity, so Alice, what I'm getting from this is that you are in this reflective point where you're in this reflective point, but is this like self-evaluation? And it almost makes me feel like you were reflecting back on something during childhood. This doesn't feel like childhood trauma. This kind of feels like childhood dreams. So I don't know, Alice, if you're in a place where you can that's what it feels like. It feels like because whenever we're little, we're like, we want to be an astronaut, we want to be all these huge things. That's what it feels like. It feels like you are going back and doing a self-evaluation. You're going back and asking little Alice what, trying to remember what she wanted to do, where she wanted to go. And that's what this feels like. It feels like you're in this new place of like exploration and you're actually checking in. It feels like this is like play, that it's an adventure, that that you're just like planning out all these things. That's how I see it. So this Four of Pentacles, it's like you got your ducks in a row. You've got everything in line, and you don't have to be completely organized, but it's like you've made this plan and now you're following through. And that's exactly what it feels like, that you have went back and asked little Alice, what does she want to do? And that's what you're doing. It feels like you are in this place where you can finally explore, and that's what you're doing. So kudos to you. That's what it feels like. It feels like you're playing, you're enjoying life, you're being adventurous, you are not worrying about what people think. Like why is she doing that? It's just like, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm doing. I've always wanted to do this. That's how it feels. All right, Miss Carol. What does Carol need to know? Come on. Give me a good card for Carol. Give me a good card for Carol. All right, Carol, you got fairies, earth magic, right? Will you take that one? Okay. Fairies are nature spirits to be descended from earthly tribes, particularly the Tuatha Dion, those associated with the goddess Dana. And I'm sorry, y'all just have to just listen to my story, who once ruled Ireland that inhabited the British Isles. Over time, these ancient people were conquered and displaced, and they fled to areas where humans didn't venture, ultimately becoming increasingly smaller and less visible in order to better hide themselves. Fairies have assumed responsibility for the plants and the trees. They work with earth magic to take care of these beings, and if you ask, they'll help you with your garden. They also have the power of enchantment and shape shifting. Fairies appreciate it when we show them through our action that we love the earth as much as they do, and consequently, they bestow a little earth magic upon us. Carol, what do the tarot cards need to tell what they want to? Let's see, what do they want to tell Carol? So I'm asking Carol what, and immediately I heard, Carol, your magic, it's not small. Don't think your magic is small. Don't think that you're not doing great things, that you feel like your magic is small, but it's not. Okay. So the first, or the one that represents you, is the Page of Swords. And again, swords is just, your thought, your mind, your intellect. So this is like a newer energy. It's a mature energy. Okay, we'll get to it in a minute. So the first one is the Six of Wands. And so this is just about completion, getting things done, things you might not wanted to do, but you've got them done. Okay. Then it is followed by the Emperor. And I know a lot of people think the Emperor represents somebody who's grumpy. To me, he just represents somebody who's set in his ways, but he can have some really fun, weird ways. Like, I don't think he sees everything straight and narrow. I think he can see things like sideways. Like, I'm telling y'all. So the Emperor to me has like that crazy uncle energy, that whenever like the niece and the nephew is trying to persuade their mom and dad to let them do this, and they're like, no, you can't do that. And he's like, but why can't they? Why can't they have the desserts before, they have supper? That's how this is kind of feeling. Okay. So then we have you, which is represented by this newer, immature, naive thing. Carol, you didn't know you was naive, did you? Then it is followed by the Nine of Swords. And so this is all about being awoken. It's about restlessness, this inability, this just inability to like not continue that process. Just hang on. Then it is followed by the Two of Swords. And so the two is all about stalemates. So that's exactly how this feels, Carol, that whatever emotion that you're feeling right now, or whatever, like whatever big emotion energy that you're going through, it feels immature, like a toddler, like, I don't want to do this, I'm not going to do this. But I mean, it's not like you're acting out, and it's not without reason. It just feels, what it feels like, Carol, is that it feels like, Carol, you are the line leader. Like, you're the one up front. And every line that you take to lead all these people, when you open the door, it's not so great on the other side. But you're the one in charge of opening the door. And it's like you're tired of opening these doors because you know that on the other side isn't something that you want to see. And so that's how it feels. It feels like you're like, no, I'm not opening another door. I'm not doing that because I know what's on the other side. That's how this feels. It just feels like you just don't want to do it anymore. It feels like you don't want to be like the person in charge. It feels like you don't. And it's not like you're intentionally leading this person. It's like everybody else is afraid to be the line leader. And so it's like you're the best possible line leader there is. It's just like you're tired of opening all these doors that everybody has to go through that leads to this. That's how it feels. So that's where I'm going, that your magic is not small. Like, it takes courage to open this door. Everybody knows what's on the other side sucks. And then, and so it's like, it just feels like this like it just feels like you're the line leader. And you're walking down the hall and you're giving all these words of encouragement, but everybody knows that once they get to that door and you open it, it's not going to be good on the other side. But it's like nobody wants to be the line leader, and nobody wants the line leader to be anybody else but you. Like if they have to walk that line, they want it to be you. So so it's like there's almost comfort, and you always open the door, and I'm fixing to start crying, but I'm not going to cry. It just feels like, Carol, if people have to go down this path, they want you with them. And yet it sucks. And it's not fun. It's not fun to keep going down that path, but people want you. Like they want to follow you. That's all I'm going to do, Carol. But just remember that your magic is not small, okay? Your magic is not small. Not crying, not tonight. Not today. I'm not crying. All right, everybody. Well, I think that's enough for me. I kind of went over on time. So thank y'all for coming and hanging out with me. I appreciate it. See y'all later. Bye, guys.